In part 2, I was discussing this point, how mechanical rectifier converts AC generated voltage into DC part. Now I will go about the third part of the video, that will give you here the idea construction of brushes. The purpose of brush is to ensure electrical connection between rotating commutator and stationary external load circuit. It is made up of carbon and rest of the commutator. So the function of our construction of DC machine brush is that the purpose of the brush is to ensure electrical connection between rotating commutator and a stationary external. This commutator, this is the commutator, already explained in part 2. This is the commutator and brush is placed on it, and this commutator is rotating, but this brush is a stationary. This brush, these are two brushes, these are two brushes. Brushes are stationary, but this commutator is rotating. At this time it is here, next time it will come here, and this commutator will come here. So this is commutator and brush segment. So if you connect here electrical load, suppose this is your load resistance, I am drawing like this. So electrical current will start to flow from this side and it will enter to this side. So this is a brush through which we can connect the load, or we can give supply also through this. So this is brushes which is responsible for load to be connected. So armature winding connections. I was discussing about the armature windings. You see here, this is a winding. This is placed in the slots. These are the slots. Placed armature winding is placed like this, and end connections are taken here, and it is placed on the commutator part. This is your commutator part. This is commutator armature. So this coil side is, this side is called bottom side. Bottom side. Here one coil is taken and put it here. Here again taken, and it is placed in the. This is called your commutator. This is called commutator part. Commutator part is connected through this coil. So you see here all coil end parts are connected through the, and this part is called top coil side. This is top coil side. You see here places are there. You can put the windings inside this hole, and one point is one outside taken here and connected here. So this portion is called armature winding. Once this winding is rotated by external means, when this winding is rotated, flux cuts this winding and induced EMF is produced in this winding. But due to this rotation, the induced EMF becomes unidirectional and we get unidirectional output voltage. Now this portion is construction of armature winding. You see this is top side coil, already shown in previous slide. This is commutator part, brush is placed here. This coil is bottom part and brush is placed here. Element of, this is called element of wave winding, and this is called element of lap winding. Basically there are two types of winding. One is called lap winding and another is called wave winding. So the fundamental difference is there. So fundamental difference is that in case of lap winding, you see here, if P equal to number of poles, means in a stator, suppose you are putting 4 poles or maybe 2 poles, 4 poles, then in lap winding, number of parallel paths will be also equal to 4. Means as many number of poles are there, so parallel path will be same. This is shown in your lap winding arrangement. If poles are 4, parallel paths will be 4. if poles are 2, parallel paths will be 2. 2 parallel paths means this. I'm just giving you an example. Suppose this is 2 parallel paths, so current will be divided here. And in case of wave winding, only 2 parallel paths are there. In case of wave winding, only 2 parallel paths. Parallel paths. Whatever number of poles may be, but parallel path in case of wave winding will be only 2. You can remember it. Here in wave there is a 4 letter, so half will be 2. In case of lap winding, you remember number of poles equal to number of parallel path, but in another case, just half of the letter you will get number of parallel paths. These are some complex arrangement of the wave winding, how it is placed. One to like this connections is given here. You see here coil, it is parallel 1 2 3 4. A equal to path, B equal to brushes, P equal to poles. So here you see this is 1 2 3 4 paths are there. 4. So this one, another one, this 4 paths are given here. So A equal to paths is given here, B equal to brushes, P equal to poles. So this is the arrangement of armature winding in case of lap winding. That is, lap winding means number of poles will be equal to number of parallel paths. So here poles are 4. 1 2 3 4 poles are there. North, south, north, 4 poles are there. So parallel paths will be 4. You do not think that the north and south makes one pole. No, this is pair of pole, but number of poles will be 1 2 3 and 4 poles are there. For wave winding, it is fixed. Only 2 paths will be there. Number of parallel paths, it is fixed, will be 2 only. Here it is shown. This is only 2 paths. So armature winding, you can summarize it like this. Lap winding means number of parallel paths will be equal to number of poles. Wave winding, A equal to A is denoted by parallel path. Parallel path is fixed. It is used in low current output and high voltage. Here current will be low because parallel path is only fixed to 2 brushes. Here the number of armature windings is divided into number of sections equal to number of poles. So as many number of poles are there, same number of parallel path is given. Here only you have fixed 2 parallel path, so current will be small. If parallel path is more, current will be more. So here number of parallel paths and number of poles are same. So here more number of parallel paths are there. Suppose if 4 poles are there, so 4 parallel paths will be there, and so current rating will be more, because more parallel path will give you more current. So this current plus this current plus this current plus this current will give you this current. So here current will be more, but here it is fixed. Only 2 parallel paths are there, so current rating will be less here, whatever number of poles will be there. So this is all about your armature winding construction. I have explained you about the wave winding, lap winding, and where armature windings are placed, where field windings are placed, why it is armature winding is placed on a DC machine on rotating part, and field winding on stationary, any stator parts, and the opposite is in case of AC machine. You will study that thing in your next semester. So next topic will be my principle of operation, how it operates, that I will discuss in coming lectures. In DC motor principle of operation. I will explain you how DC motor will operate. That will be DC motor principle of operation. This will be based on left hand rule or motor rule. For Fleming left hand rule we will use for motor, and right hand rule we will use for generator. That will be our next topic we will discuss in part 4. This is your part 3.